So we're at the halfway point of the fall anime season. And, you know, I'm just curious, you know, what is Reddit loving? What are they enjoying? What are they not? Or what are they disappointed by this season? So this person asked, now we're halfway through fall 2023. How are we feeling about these shows so far? The person that asked this question lists the anime that they're watching, the reason as to why they're enjoying it, why they're not. It's pretty lengthy. I'm gonna save it to the end. I want to get into these comments first. Frieren the GOAT. Frieren is just awesome. Frieren is GOAT. But I always look forward to Mao Mao Saturdays more. I get it. Apothecary Diaries is really good. Makes sense. No surprise. Under Ninja is underrated. I just think Under Ninja is neat. Under Ninja is one of the nichest anime I've been watching this season, but it's far more complicated to digest. Yeah, he's not wrong. It's a very weird and unorthodox anime. It's very wacky. You know, I think I only watched the first 2 episodes, the first 3, but I might continue it. Once all the episodes come out, I'm gonna binge it. I feel like it's better to binge this anime. You know, it's, the pacing is very weird. You know, all the time cuts. You know, going back to the past and the present. It's very weird and just it's a lot going on. You know, I feel like it's better to, you know, binge it, and hopefully it makes more sense. You know, once I binge it, you know, hopefully all the wackiness, you know, makes sense. Hopefully Shangri-La Frontier and Frieren are my top 2. That might be a lot of people's top 2 this season. Both very good shows. Shangri-La Frontier has the best open in the season. That's debatable. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but I think that's tough. 100 Girlfriends is also amazing, but it feels like an indulgence every time I watch it. I'm trying to move away from the harem genre. Yo, how much harem anime you watching? You know, when I think you're just trying to move away from it, I think it's somebody who just started watching anime and you're just watching just a bunch of just horny, freaky, just a bunch of, you know, kinky stuff. You know, you freaky frog. You know, I'm thinking of like you watching at least like 6+. And you can't lie, we was all watching a bunch of harem anime when we was first really getting into anime, discovering all these different types of genres. We're just watching a bunch of horny, big titty, big ass, busty harem anime. Don't lie, don't deny it. Don't deny it. You know it's true.
Lying
Don't
fuck.
lie. And it's okay because we didn't know what we like. Also, still really enjoying Spy Family. I can't dribble the English name. Dropped our dating story due to the silly level of writing. Okay, I've been watching this anime. You know, I've been enjoying it. I get what they mean. You know, I can't blame them. You know, I get it. I'm curious as to what episode they dropped it at. 'Cause I feel like, you know, as more episodes have come out, I think it has gone better. And also, it helps me that I go back to the manga for certain animes, you know, see if the things are being adapted properly, if things are being cut out, or if things are changing. And I know this is based off a light novel, so I don't know how much different the light novel is to the manga. But they are cutting things out from the anime. You know, they're cutting out some of the important information, you know, to make the characters better, you know, build things up, make the story make more sense, and, you know, the characters' motives and stuff like that. But I get why they dropped it. You know, early on, it's very head scratching, and it's very like, is this realistic? You know, does this make sense? You know, is this like what people do this in real life? And, you know, at times it's pretty goofy, but when you think about it, it's kind of realistic. You know, especially when you're young. You know, you're doing whatever. You know, you're trying things out. You don't know what love is. You know what you like. But I feel like as more episodes have come out, it makes more sense. You know, she's seeing, oh, this is what love is. You know, this is what it's like to like somebody. And definitely, if you're watching this, I say go back and forth. Every time an episode comes out, go to manga, see what's left out, get the information. You know, if you like the anime, I think you'll enjoy it even more if you have the information that's being left out. It sounds dumb to do, but it is what it is. Shangri-La Frontier was my biggest surprise. The show is so solid in terms of animation. It's insane. Like, imagine all the anime you've seen and the tricks of minimizing animated movement, and SLF does none of that. Movement where movement should be. Fun character expressions. Having a bird face helps a lot with that. Literally zero CGI characters. Pacing and comedy on point. Literally one of the best VR MMORPG game anime. And it's gonna run for half a year. 8 out of 10 so far. Will most likely go higher depending on how the story develops further. Yeah, I mean, that's, you know, it's very spot on. You know, it's very good. And I didn't think about that. It's really, yeah, there isn't no CGI characters. I think maybe a lichen, you know, the wolf, you know, the big dog. I think it might be a mix between traditional animation and then it might be a little CGI. I could be wrong, but yeah, there's no CGI characters. It is very fun, and, you know, it definitely hits home. You know, if you're a Souls, you know, player, if you play MMOs, if you're a gamer, you know, this hits home and you get it. You know, you get it. It's like, they make sense. You know, the person that made this, you know, I know they're a loser. You know, I know what games you play. We know what games you play. But I'm glad, you know, somebody made a show like this, you know, because you definitely get it. Like I said, if you're a Souls player, RPG player, MMO player, you get it. You know, this makes more sense to you, and it definitely hits home. Shows that have me impatiently waiting each week are Frieren, JJK, Spy Family, Apothecary Diaries, and Dr. Stone. Definitely Frieren, JJK, and Apothecary Diaries for sure. Frieren might be the best anime of the year, at least for its storytelling. Under Ninja is also one of the most likely wacko shows so far. Frieren, the best anime of the year in terms of storytelling. I feel like it definitely is one of the best animes of this year. Honestly, for me, I would say it's top 3. But if we're talking about, you know, storytelling, writing, I feel like that's tough. I feel like that goes head to head with, you know, Vinland Saga. If we're talking about storytelling, writing, that's tough. That's a battle between the two. I mean, we'll see how Frieren develops. You know, still what, like 14 more episodes, 16 more episodes, I think, left. So we'll see. I definitely think Vinland Saga has it right now, but no, Frieren is not that far behind. No, we still got a lot of episodes left, but that's tough because Vinland Saga season 2 was very good. I know a lot of people probably didn't like it because it's very different from the first season, but that writing, no, shout out to them. But I think definitely those 2 are very close. You know, we'll see how Frieren, you develops. We'll see how it wraps up this season. 16-bit Sensation, another layer, is probably my sleeper hit of the season. Just a great watch. I agree with this. It's definitely a sleeper. I say if you're not watching this or you've been curious about it, definitely give it a chance, especially if you like time travel that's themed around making games, specifically shoujo games, and they actually reference real life games. So it might tickle your fancy if you know the games. I will say if you're not a fan of characters with high pitched voices, then you might not really enjoy this because the main female character's voice is pretty high pitched. But I think if you can get past that, then you'll realize how enjoyable this is, and some pretty surprising elements to the show. One of the strongest seasons for depth in a long time. Like many others, my standouts are Frieren, Apothecary Diaries, but everyone is gushing about those. I'm going to push my other favorite that almost nobody seems to be watching. The Family Circumstances of the Irregular Witch is a really fun time. Great leading characters, a solid mix of fun side characters, and consistently hilarious hijinks. Makes me sad how unappreciated it is. Spy Family Season 2 I thought started quite weakly, much like the second quarter of the first season, but has picked up a lot in recent weeks and is getting back to where Core 1 was. I 100% agree with this. The start of this season for Spy Family it wasn't it. It was kind of losing me. I was kind of, I was ready to tap out. I was like, I might drop this. It was, I'm not opposed to the slice of life. I like slice of life, but it was just for certain characters I just didn't really care for. I mean, yeah, it makes them better. Sure, it gives them more, depth. It makes them, develop more. Sure, but I just did not care. The first episode of the season was good. It was funny seeing Yuri get shot in the ass and her trying to deal with the pain. That was hilarious. But the other episodes after that, and before what we're getting into right now, weren't the best. But thankfully, we get into the action. This is what I was hoping for. This is what I was predicting that the season would be about. Getting into the assassination stuff. More action. More into Yuri. I do hope though. I do hope that we see Lloyd. Get it. Maybe fight one of the assassins. Hopefully box somebody up. Get some licks in. I know he's watching Anya right now, so it's kind of hard. He's on dad duty, but when she's sleeping, just him. Maybe he's just walking out. Getting a nice stroll. Get some fresh air. Maybe he just comes across. Hopefully he gets at least one fight this season. Hopefully. As a Yuri connoisseur, I am of course enjoying Gay Girl Mondays. Yeah, what? With 3 different flavors of Yuri's showing. First, with the most explicitly gay show we have, I'm in love with the villainess. Overall, I'm satisfied with the adaptation here. It clearly doesn't have the resources I have liked it to get, with the brilliant voice acting picking up the slack of the lackluster animation. Secondly, in the pretty heavily implied gay category, we have Stardust Telepath. A fun little fluffy CGDCT, I don't know what that means. I feel like I should, but I don't. Featuring a Bochi and an alien. Finally, we have Shy, with more subtle implied Yuri, but still plenty easy to headcanon. This has a lot of potential that hasn't quite filled yet, but it's nice to have a superhero show that appeals to those of us who don't tend to like battle shonen. There's also Vexations of a Shonen Vampire Princess for Yuri lovers. I like what I've seen, but it's on hold until it finishes because because you live outside of the US name. Unfortunate. That's a very interesting take, That's a very interesting take, I'm glad that they're enjoying that. I didn't really think about Shy being, I mean, I guess when you think about it, yeah, it's kind of there. The one area the season falls short is the fluffy rom-com, but the one we do have, our dating story, the experienced you and the inexperienced me, is definitely holding its own really well. Surprisingly so, in fact. I'm really enjoying it. It's very enjoyable, and like I said, I think it's gotten better. Beyblade X looks like a hidden gem that more people need to pay attention to.
Get him the fuck out of here! Get him the please!
Beyblade in 2023. That'll be 2024. I'm trying hard to like Frieren, but I think it's not for me. I watched until episode 10. The art is incredible. I love slow-paced shows, but it's something with the main character that personally didn't catch me. They are too stoic. I know it's part of the whole plot. It's just not for me. Interesting. I kind of get it though. Frieren herself is very calm. She's very laid back. She's emotionless. She's not very energetic. She's not over the top. She's not hype. Wait, hold on. They said episode 10? No spoilers. But even after that standoff in that line, hey, I don't know. That was a cold moment. That's tough. But hey, at least they gave it a fair chance. At least they tried. Give it a decent run. Pluto was obviously very good and probably the best anime of the last several years. God damn, yo, get it out your mouth. But I can't really say anything. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. Goblin Slayer Season 2 is the lowest of low. Easily one of the worst anime this season. Almost all the characters that surround Goblin Slayer are so annoying they ruin the whole show. Goblin Slayer is the best character in the show just by the virtue of him barely even being a character. Damn, this person has a lot of hate in their heart. I slightly agree with them on Goblin Slayer. I don't think it's the worst of the season. I don't know, something about it, it's just not hitting. I don't know what it is. Kingdoms of Ruin, utter trash, and every character is so stupid. Solely relies on gore, killing characters, and then bringing them back, and constant plot twists. Just lazy storytelling in my opinion. Instead of actually developing a plot line, they just throw it out with the next plot twist. 4 out of 10. Yeah, I get it. It's a gore fest and just edgy. I would get why people wouldn't like this. We'll see where it goes. Jujutsu Kaisen. Definitely overhyped, and I don't like the new animation style. I can barely tell what's going on in the fights. It looks like 2 blurred figures running at each other. This is probably because of Mappa's poor treatment of workers though. All that being said, I love the characters and story. 8.5 out of 10. I've been seeing this on Twitter recently that season 1's animation is better than season 2. It's pretty stupid. I'm not getting into it. Sure, there's some scenes and frames that are hard to follow follow what's going on, but season 2 is artistically a masterpiece. Y'all sleeping on the best anime airing currently, and so what is it? You didn't say why. What is the best one? What did we miss? What are we sleeping on? Tell us. You selfish. The Vexations of a Shut-In Vampire Princess. Probably my biggest disappointment so far this season. I've been enjoying the antics of the early episodes quite a bit, but ever since the show decided to have a plot, I've been slowly losing interest. 5 out of 10. What? Yo, am I crazy? That doesn't make sense. Yo, yeah, this show decided to have a plot, so it's fucking trash. Yeah, so this show became fucking dog water after they decided to have a plot. Like, a plot? Who has a plot? Who wants to develop the story and the characters? Why would they do that? I enjoyed the nonsense that was happening. You know, it's a plot. What is? Come on, that's too much to read. I don't want to actually learn and, like, you know, actually try to, get to know these characters better in the world. You know, they develop a plot. There's a plot. What are you doing? Ew, what the frick, dude? Maybe I'm just an idiot. And now on to this very lengthy post. The person that asked this question lists the anime they're watching, why they're enjoying it, why they're not. I'm just gonna rapidly go through them, give you the important points. So Jujutsu Kaisen, they've been enjoying the Shibuya arc. They think the animation is amazing. They see the flaws, nonetheless, still beautiful, but they had to put it on pause since they can't fully enjoy it, because in the back of their mind they're thinking, damn, rapidly changing anime is like dogs. So until things cool down and hopefully get better and all the episodes come out, then they'll continue it. I respect that. It is very unfortunate what the animes are going through. Hopefully very soon things get better and change, but Jujutsu Kaiba has been fire. It's been going crazy. I'm excited to see who else is going to be fighting, and I'm curious to see how the season is going to wrap up, but I've been really enjoying it. Rurouni Kenshin, they think the second core really isn't doing anything outstanding in terms of story. They think the animation is good. They've seen the original, so they're excited to see how the later arcs are going to be adapted. I haven't seen Rurouni Kenshin or the original, so I can't really say anything. 100 Girlfriends Will Really Love You. They think it's an absolute must watch. If you like harem rom-coms, they think it's hilarious. They're surprised by the male MC. He's not boring. He's not bland. He actually cares about his girlfriends. He goes above and beyond for them. They like all the female MCs. They're just loving the insanity of this show. They give it a solid 8 out of 10. Yeah, it's been pretty enjoyable. I do need them to tone down these goddamn horny ass shots, and I do have a concern for the future seasons where more girlfriends get introduced, how that's gonna be paced. So far the pacing for it has been good, but I'm a little concerned for, in the future. Other than that, it's pretty funny and it's been a fun watch. Now on the other hand, Girlfriend season 2, they're not really messing with it. So much so in fact that they dropped that episode 4. They gave it a 5 out of 10. They think it pales in comparison to 100 Girlfriends, and they weren't a fan of the realistic take for certain issues. Yeah, I get it. I was wondering, why am I still watching this? Why am I even watching this? What am I doing to myself? But then I realized, this show has become just so stupid and just idiotic. I'm here for the trashiness. I'm just here to see how much further it could go with just the nonsense and what it's building up to, where it's going. It's just a joke at this point. And I feel like it realized, this doesn't make sense. We're a joke. We know that this is a joke. I feel like it's making fun of itself at this point. Is he gonna end up with 4 girls? I don't know. Another show they dropped, Shy. They compared it to Bocchi the Rock and My Hero Academia, which is a good comparison. They don't hate it. It's just the story hasn't shown what it has in store. But they really dropped it because they couldn't fit into their schedule. They give it a 7 out of 10 so far. I agree with this. I also dropped Shy. I don't think it's bad. It's just the story hasn't shown its potential, what it's offering, what it's building up to. But I feel like it's holding back. I don't know if it's the anime, that's how it is in the manga, but I just lost interest. Maybe once the story picks up, I'll continue it. Eminence in the Shadow season 2. They think it's absolutely amazing. They had no expectations going to season 1, but they were just consistently blown away. They even went on to reading the light novel and the manga. They think Sid is a consistently entertaining protagonist, and they're so happy with the director working on this show. They think they're doing a phenomenal job. They give it a 9 out of 10. Yeah, the season has been pretty good. I'm loving it. I really didn't expect to like Eminence in the Shadow so much. It is a little sad that this season is going to be shorter than the first, so I am curious as to how the season is going to wrap up. Shield Hero season 3. While they think it's a lot better than season 2, it's a little too late since the damage has already been done from the previous seasons, so it's kind of sad to watch at this point. They give it a 7 out of 10. I can't really say too much. I did drop Shield Hero during season 2. I think it was episode 3 or 4. If you want to know my reasoning, I say go watch. I freed myself that I dropped these anime video. Goblin Slayer season 2, they're loving it. The first season they thought it was meh, but season 2 has been such a fun watch for them. They're not really sure what changed. They don't know if it's a vibe or if it's more aesthetically pleasing to look at. And nonetheless, they've been really invested in the story. They give it a 7.5 out of 10. So I'm the opposite of this. I think season 2 is meh. Season 1 I loved. I thought it was amazing. But I don't know what it is about season 2. I don't know if it's the characters. I don't know if it's the earlier episodes, especially with the mage of the brother who died in the first episode of the first season. He was really annoying. I don't know if it's the content. The last 2 episodes were better and enjoyable, but I think as more fantasy shows are coming out and being adapted, this kind of pales in comparison, especially when you have shows like Frieren, Jobs Reincarnation. I don't think it's bad, but for me, it's just not on the same level. Frieren. We all know what everybody's saying about it. I don't really got to summarize this. They think there's really no contest. It's their anime of the season and potentially anime of the year. They give it a 10 out of 10. Yeah, there's really not much for me to say. I feel pretty much the same as everyone else. I'm loving it. It's amazing. It's phenomenal. I love the characters. It has funny moments. I love the world building. I love all the little details, the animations, the fight scenes. Even though this is not a hype show, but when the time comes, it does get pretty hype. If it continues this pace, this writing, and it continues to get better and better, this is definitely gonna be one of my top 5 favorites of all time. For sure, this is anime of the season, and it has a good chance for anime of the year. Spy Family season 2, they pretty much feel the same same way how I felt about it and the other person felt about it. So they're very glad that they get to see more of Yor and the assassins. They enjoy the slice of life stuff, but they just wish that the plot would get going and move a little faster. They gave it an 8 out of 10. Yeah, I agree with this. Apothecary Diaries. While Frieren is their favorite show this season, Apothecary Diaries is the one they're enjoying the most. They love Mao Mao. They think she's a fun protagonist. They love her antics and her no BS attitude. The week waiting for the next episode is dreadful for them. They give it a 9 out of 10. Yes, another one where we don't have to say much. You know, people are loving Apothecary Diaries. Even though this one started later than the rest of the shows, I'm surprised to see a lot of people were paying attention to it, waiting for it. So I'm glad they're enjoying it. You know, it is a good show. It's amazing. Shangri-La Frontier. They're enjoying it. They think it's hype. They can tell it's made by a genuine gamer. They like all the little details for people who play games, especially JRPGs. They give it an 8.5 out of 10. Again, another one I don't really have to say too much about. We all know everybody's loving it. It is pretty good. It's funny. I like all the references. It's just a really fun show to watch. Attack on Titan, the final season, the final chapters, part 2 was pretty good. I'm not the biggest Attack on Titan fan out there, so I can't really say I was massively invested in the story like my brother who was crying the entire time beside me, but I do really think it's a decent and satisfactory ending to a modern classic. I personally wouldn't put it in my favorite anime of all time, but yeah, it's pretty good. 8 out of 10. Surprisingly, I didn't see anybody talk about Attack on Titan, but I agree with this. I felt kind of the same way. I was satisfied with the ending. Honestly, I was surprised I didn't really feel any emotions during the episode, and once it was done, I was like, oh, it's over. It's it. I didn't feel like empty. I didn't feel no hole in my heart. I wasn't like, damn, it's really over. I was like, it's over. No, but I was satisfied. You know, I had a good time with it. Obviously, it's gonna go down as one of the greatest. Finally, Pluto. I feel like the only show able to contest Frieren for me as anime of the season is Pluto. The production is there, and Urasawa just delivered another psychological banger of a story that deals with so many complex themes told through robots of all things. This show can definitely be considered a masterpiece, but I didn't find myself totally invested in the story. I think production and writing wise, absolute 10 out of 10, but my enjoyment really wasn't totally there, so I'm giving this one a 9 out of 10. Though now that both Monster and Pluto is adapted, I pray to God this is a sign that 20th Century Boys will get an anime adaptation as well. Now that's a masterpiece waiting to be adapted. Again, haven't seen it yet, so I can't say anything. 20th Century Boys getting an anime adaptation. Now that's interesting. Alright, that's enough right there for today. There was some interesting takes and opinions. Maybe they persuaded you to give some of these anime a chance, but pretty much most of these anime I expect to be talked about and people loving. I will say, I am surprised by the Undead Ninja appreciation. Glad to see that doing well. You know the winter anime season is almost coming up. If you've been on my channel before, you know what that means, so stay tuned. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, watch this video to get an idea. Now let me know your thoughts in the comments. What are you personally enjoying? What's your anime of the season? What's your anime of the year? Or just leave a random comment. So with that, I hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe. Share with whoever you think might enjoy my content. Other than that, I'm out.